Welcome back, guys, to yet another World of Warcraft video on this channel. We are back yet again after a couple days of not posting regular videos. I know, I'm sorry, but I was actually just trying to put together, oh my god, I'm sorry. I was trying to put together a list of things that I wanted to do for videos, like think a little bit about what we're gonna post on the channel. Because, did I queue up for a dungeon? I absolutely did. Anyway, guys, as you can see, based on the title and the thumbnail itself, today we are actually going to be talking about why you need ALTS in 10.0. Now, the reason that I want to make this video is basically a follow-up video to my how I'm playing to level 250, level 60s. Now, obviously not everybody is going to be doing that, but the reason that I'm making this video today is because I want to talk about how professions seem to be, working in 10.0 based on what we have so far. So it's very limited information. A lot of it is obviously something that can change, but based on the overall titles and descriptions that they've given us so far, we can expect a lot to happen. Now, before we get into it, make sure you guys drop a like on the video and also subscribe to the channel with all the notifications on. And drop a comment down below of what you think of what they've shown for the profession so far in 10.0. What do you like? What do you not like? What do you hope for? What do you not hope for? It might be anything. But either way, let's get straight into it. So as you guys can see, I have a little bit of a wowhead post up here. If you guys do not know or recognize it, it is actually the Wowhead Economy Weekly Wrap-Up, number 224. And for a specific section right here, which is very interesting, this is basically going into the fact that each and every profession will have talent trees. So you can see here, this is from an interview with Hazel and Ian, and you can see here, he says, each of these professions also have a talent tree, a specialization to it. So that rather than just picking, let's say, armorsmithing or weaponsmithing, you can invest in armorsmithing and then further in making plate armor and further in making helmets and have bonuses to your ability to make higher level ones at a higher level of quality that are at least initially exclusive of making the choice to invest in specializing. So basically what he's saying is that each and every profession has a talent tree with potentially more than one specialization. And the reason that I take that is because obviously he's saying here that you can either pick armorsmithing or weaponsmithing, and you could probably take blacksmithing to think of it like that. And something that's also very interesting here, you can see that he says long-term players and completionists who we know there is a decent Venn diagram overlap between hardcore crafters and completionists will eventually be able to make all things, but as a long-term completionist goal. So basically what this is that he is hinting at the fact that we are going to have a time-gated progression system in professions. So whether that's daily quests, daily tokens, daily crafts, it's hard to say specifically, but basically what this means is that this talent tree that we're going to have is probably something that we will slowly progress each day or maybe each week. And now, this is the reason that I am making this video. Obviously, something that he is saying here, and this is something I'd like to go over for you guys. Some of that was like figuring out niches in the market and what gems were in high demand. He's basically talking about what we used to have in Wrath with jewel crafting dailies. But here he's saying that you can actually look for specific things and you can specialize or actually pick something that you want to obviously be the best at potentially, on your server. And you can also, he's also saying that he hopes what's going to happen is that people pick different specializations and then people can reach out to those specific crafters that have these specializations and have them craft the different things that require the high level of skill in the specific professions. But the main thing is that it's going to be time gated, and as any min-maxing goldmaker or just player of WoW in general knows, there will be a best way, the one that makes the most gold. Obviously, I air quote that because it's incredibly early and hard to say, but I just imagine that there's going to be one or maybe two routes that people will follow from online guides and online recommendations and whatnot for gold makers like myself, and that will probably lead to something where people aren't going to be very spread out. But here is the main reason I wanted to make this video. If it is daily cooldowns and you can only progress after time gating with the talent tree, and you can't just level it up like normal, you know, with reaching 300 or the maximized thing in your profession, if it is time gated, that means that your choices early on will matter, and they will also impact how much gold you're going to make. And considering the fact that every single specialization has a chance at getting 1, 2, 3, 4 different, you know, routes that you want to take, I can imagine that doing every single route on multiple different characters is probably something that will make you absolute tons of gold. So think of it like this. You have blacksmithing, right? And you have two different routes to take. You have armorsmithing and weaponsmithing. And then additionally on top of that, he's actually saying that you can invest in armorsmithing, and then you can further in making plate armor and further in making helmets. So what he's saying here is that not only do we pick either armorsmithing or weaponsmithing, then you can also say, I want to make plate armor efficiently, right? And then you can also say, obviously that's in blacksmithing, and then you can also say, I also want to make helmets efficiently. Now let's say there are 8 different gear slots, right? Does that mean that early on, now hear me out, early on, that if somebody were to make 8 different characters, could they invest in armorsmithing and obviously go to plate armor because it's blacksmithing, and then making a helmet, and then a new character makes shoulders, and then a new character makes chest pieces, and a new character makes waist guards? That's where it is. I really feel like that's something that is going to be insane early on. Obviously, this is very early still. It's mostly speculation, but the reason that I want to talk to you guys about this is this isn't the only thing that seems crazy to me when it comes to alt specifically. Because let's say that the specializations and the talent trees aren't that crazy. He is still saying that the professions will be time gated. And a lot of the things that you find in the world will also be time gated, which means that every single profession will have so much content to do, and probably because of the huge barriers to entry, there'll be a lot of profit to be had in a lot of professions. And I can already see right now that if you have more characters and more chances to potentially get rare recipes, rare crafting opportunities, whatever it is out in the world, having multiple alts ready to go is something that will be very, very desirable in 10.0. And this isn't the only thing. They've also talked about the fact that they're early on gonna make alt gameplay very friendly. Now, they've obviously said that before, but this time they've specifically said that they're going to allow players to swap around in the different dragon aspects more easily, which is a promise. We don't know. Obviously, that is something we're gonna have to wait and see what happens with that on the beta. But basically, what I recommend as the most important thing for you guys to do right now is 100% just get alts. Make a ton of alts. If you plan on doing professions to a higher degree in Dragonflight and you want to be in on the early gold making, you need alts, and you need a lot of them. And that's basically everything that I had for this video. I hope this sparks some ideas, some thoughts for you guys to actually drop down in the comments below, because I'd love to talk about it, because this is, you know, we do this on the live stream as well. But either way, I appreciate you guys for listening, watching the video. If you guys did not yet, make sure you drop a like on the video and also subscribe to the channel with all the notifications on. And until the next one, guys, see ya!